Vandeham Sri Guru Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavang
Krishna, everyone, welcome to the 53rd episode of Pariprashna. So for the last 5 episodes, as you are probably already aware, we have been discussing this glorious conversation between the Divine Mother and Son, that is Mother Devahuti and Kapiladev. So Mother Devahuti wanted to understand how to dispel her delusion and what is the process of enlightenment. So in answer to that, her glorious son Kapiladev, he has been explaining the processes of Bhakti Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and currently, since the last 2 chapters, he has been explaining 4 types of devotion. Devotion that is performed in the mode of ignorance, in the mode of passion, and today we are going to take a look at devotion performed in the mode of goodness and beyond goodness, that is pure devotional service. So our objective today in this episode is going to be try and cover 2 chapters, which are actually the last 2 chapters of Canto 3 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So chapter 32 is titled Entanglement in Fruitive Activities and chapter 33 is titled Activities of Lord Kapila. So as always, in order to gain fresher perspectives and deeper understanding, we have with us His Holiness Bhakti Padma Saurabha Pracharak Swami Maharaj. So let's go ahead and inquire and learn from him. So Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
So Maharaj, this chapter, that is chapter 32, is titled Entanglement in Fruitive Activities. So we see since the last 2 chapters, chapter 30, 31, and this chapter also 32 and beyond, why is Lord Kapila Dev taking so much time, investing so much time in explaining the process of entanglement? Devahuti wanted to know about enlightenment. So why is it essential for us to understand the types of entanglement, the various factors, what actually entangles us in order to get us to the stage of attaining enlightenment?
Okay, let me start with a small correction of the talk you gave just as an introduction to this chapter.
Okay.
In these 3 chapters, that is 30, 31, and 32, it is not devotional service in ignorance, devotional service in passion, devotional service in goodness. It is just ignorance, passion, and goodness. Devotional service in mode of ignorance and devotional service in passion and in goodness, that is in the next canto, 4th canto, where he talks about Daksha, Dhruva, and Ritu Maharaj. Pure devotional service, of course, by the Prachetas. So it is just raw modes influencing different people and their activities and the consequences of the activities. So why is it so? Because Prakriti, her inquiry is about Prakriti and Purusha. That is how Sankhya Yoga starts. If you go to the 25th chapter, the first question asked by Devahuti is, I want to know about Prakriti and Purusha. And what is this Prakriti made up of? Sattva, Rajas, Tama. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sattvam, Rajas, Tama iti gunan Prakriti Sambhavan. So there should be a description about what is mode of goodness, what is passion, what is ignorance, and activities in mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, so that one knows that goodness is also an entanglement. Passion is also an entanglement, and ignorance is also an entanglement. Srila Prabhupada gives the example of iron chain, silver chain, and a golden chain. Shackles, chain means shackles. When you're bound by the iron shackles, it is as good as the bondage of the golden shackles. It's as good as the bondage of the silver shackle. Shackle is a shackle. So the first point, the bondage is bondage, whether it is goodness, passion, or ignorance. And also, now there are some people who think ignorance is liberation. That is, knowledge, ignorance is bliss. So they take intoxication and then think that I am in bliss. I am in a transcendental state of happiness. So this is one kind of people who think that ignorance leads to liberation. So these are the hippies. Those who think by intoxication I can do better meditation. Now there are some people who think passion is liberation because I am doing my duties by hook or crook. I want to earn money and then enjoy the senses along with my family. So in this way, what happens? They think this is liberation.
Mhm.
There are some people who say, no, we have to follow dharma, we have to follow Veda. How can there be liberation without following Veda? So you have to enjoy in the next life, and you follow the religious life. So then you will be happy, or then you are liberated. So to remove these three misconceptions among people, so this has been described. These three chapters are nothing but bondage. That is the purpose of these three chapters. And also, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that Nanyah gunebhyah kartaram yatha drishthan pashyati. One has to see that nothing else in this world, nothing else other than the modes of nature is working. And the soul, gunebhyah param veti, the soul, and as well as the super soul, they are gunebhyah param veti, one who knows or one who sees Krishna to be transcendental the modes of nature, then he can attain liberation. Madbhavam sadigacchati. So to see that this world is nothing but the modes of nature, it's all useless, it is nothing to the soul, it is nothing to do with Krishna. So then one is situated, fixed up in devotional service.
Okay. So would it
Yeah.
be accurate to say it is not bhakti in three modes and beyond, but bhakta? It is not devotion, but the performer of devotion in three modes.
No, again, this is just a person in mode of goodness, person in mode of passion, person in mode of ignorance. When you say devotee, it is a different thing. He knows Krishna as God, and he knows he wants to chant the names of the Lord. He's reading Bhagavatam. He wants to get out of the modes of material nature. He's doing some practice of devotion, but because of the influence of the modes on him, he behaves in an abnormal way, like Daksha. So there is a difference between a devotee in mode of ignorance and his activities, and a person in just mode of ignorance and his activities. So we should not confuse between two.
Yeah.
This subject matter, that is 30, 31, and 32, these three chapters talk about exclusively about a person, in just an ordinary person, living entity in mode of ignorance, mode of passion, and mode of goodness. Because that is a description of a person in mode of ignorance, they go to hell. But a devotee in mode of ignorance is not going to go to hell because he's a devotee. But he suffers the reactions for his ignorant activities. He's being proud, talking very rough, and then hurting people. He will definitely have reactions for it in the form of prad. But going to hell and all, it is not, because he's a devotee.
Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj, for clarifying that distinction between the two, which is very essential. So getting into the chapter now, so I'm just going to quote the first two verses and then open the question. So text 1 of chapter 32, Kapila Uvacha, Atayo Grihamediyan Dharman Eva Vasangrihe, Kamam Artham Cha Dharman Swan Doghi Bhuyaf Pipartitan. The personality of Godhead said, the person who lives in the center of household life derives material benefits by performing religious rituals, and thereby he fulfills his desire for economic development and sense gratification. Again and again he acts the same way. In the next verse, Sachapi bhagavad-dharma kama-mudah paranmukah yajate kratubhirdevan pitrumscha shraddhayanvitah. Such persons are ever bereft of devotional service due to being too attached to sense gratification, and therefore, although they perform various kinds of sacrifices and take great vows to satisfy the demigods and forefathers, they are not interested in Krishna consciousness devotional service. So, Maharaj, let's take some time to discuss about this category of people. So, in fact, I personally think these people are the most difficult to preach. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, they are attached to happiness. They are bound by happiness. At least other category of people, they are suffering. So out of suffering or something like that or confusion, they may come. But these people are so-called good people. They are religious people. And Kapila Dev here is saying that they perform religious rituals. They take up great vows. They do various kinds of sacrifices. And it's not like they don't believe in God. But they are worshipping the demigods. They worship the forefathers. So these people, when we approach them also, they say, I'm a good person. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not doing any illicit things. I'm not a bad person. I am even doing some charity, dana, dharma, and all that. I don't lie. I'm a good person. So, what is the shortcoming? What is the flaw in being the so called good religious person? How is that a hindrance?
Because they have ignorance to think religiosity is spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between religiosity and spirituality is not understood by them. This is the characteristics of Arjuna when he's addressed as ignorant person, you're a fool.
Mm-hmm.
Arjuna thought that religiosity is spirituality, and he was placing that moral codes of conduct of religiosity is the perfection of life. So this is where Krishna identified Arjuna as ignorant. He is a good person, but good ignorant person. A good ignorant person.
Mm-hmm.
So because he's good, he thinks I'm knowledgeable. That is the reason they are the most difficult to preach. That is how Karma Mamsa philosophy, which talks about following the Veda, the Karma Kanda section of the Veda, and to consider that to be the highest goal of life, that is to enjoy, go to heaven and enjoy. Kamatmana Sargapara, Janma Karma Falaprada, Kriya Vishesha Boda, Bhoga Ishwari Gatim Prati. Krishna talks about such person.
Mm-hmm.
They think that karma means I'm doing karma, that means I'm doing karma yoga. There is a difference between karma and karma yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Karma means just fruitive activities based on scriptures. It's always
Okay.
based on scripture. Yoga means you do karma for Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
So karma yoga. So that is what is well spread among the people in this world. Especially when you go for distributing books, when you give a Bhagavad Gita to a person, says, why don't you take a Bhagavad Gita? He says, Bhagavad Gita, I know. What do you know? Karmanyavadikaraste. What is the next line? Karma, just do your duties. That's what Krishna says. That's what a Bhagavad Gita is. A donkey is doing its duties. What's the big thing in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, duties have to be done. But just doing a duty, that doesn't make you spiritual. That may make you a donkey. So, Bhagavad Gita starts with, addresses such a person who is practicing this Karma-Mimamsa philosophy or having the ideology of Karma-Mimamsa. Here in the Vedanta Sutras, it starts with addressing the antagonistic philosophy of Karma-Mimamsa, that is, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Now, therefore, you have to inquire into the absolute truth. Why it says that? Because your philosophy is giving only temporary results. It is going to take you to Swarga and then bring you back. It is going to give you some enjoyment, which is temporary. Since your results of your process is temporary and transient, you have to inquire into Brahman. So the Karavimsa philosophy is so deeply rooted in the consciousness of the people that when you talk to them about Krishna and scriptures, if you make, for example, now Kartik Mass is going on, now you explain a beautiful Leela of Krishna Katha. Then after the entire 2 hours of describing Krishna Katha, they would ask a question, what is so practical in it?
Mhm.
And something practical should be there. So it is so deeply rooted, this current mom's philosophy, that they don't understand there's nothing more practical and nothing more practical than sitting and hearing Krishna Katha. So they want some practical out of it.
Mm.
And they would even argue saying that just descriptions of Krishna, descriptions of in the scriptures, they have no value. You have to be practical,
Mm.
and practical has some value. So this is so deeply engraved in the consciousness of people. So Krishna
Mhm.
used a device. Okay, you want to be practical, you want to do something, do for me. Chalo. The whole purpose of Krishna speaking Bhagavad Gita and talking about the third chapter and the fifth chapter
Mhm.
is to bring a person who is karma pravritta to the level of karmarpana. Uh, and in this way, can purify himself and come to the position of pure devotional service.
Mm.
So the most dangerous thing, that is,
Mm.
religiosity is more dangerous than anything in this world.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic, Maharaj. So the destination of this karma pravrittaha is what Kapila Dev is describing in verse number 3. I'll just read the translation. Such materialistic persons, attracted by sense gratification and devoted to the forefathers and demigods, can be elevated to the moon, where they drink an extract of the soma plant. They again return to this planet. So they're going to the moon planet. They're not going to Swarga, or is Swarga same as moon planet? What he's talking about? That is number one. And the
They are all
Soma
similar planets.
similar. Okay, okay.
Similar, where there is excessive enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so there are Bhauma Swarga, there is Divi Swarga, and there is Soma, and so many different places are there
Mm-hmm.
where you go and enjoy, which is the enjoyment there is far superior to the enjoyment which is found in this earth as Bhugola, what we say.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So just out of curiosity, it may not be like really such relevant question. The Soma juice, Soma, the extract, is this equivalent of alcohol? Is it something superior? What is this?
A five-star alcohol.
Okay.
Like you have Desi Daru, and then you have Videshi.
Uh,
Like when I travel on the road, then I see there is written English wine shop. What do you mean by English wine shop? So it means I was wondering what is English wine shop?
yeah.
Or a wine bottle on which English it is written in English. So Desi, and there is Videshi and
Yeah.
Swadeshi, what it is.
Mm.
So wine is wine, whether it is a
Mm.
yeah,
That's funny. So this is more like a celestial daru.
yeah.
So, but they will come back. So, even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, "Kshine punye martya lokam vishanti." So, once the punya is over, again they have to come to martya loka only. So, these people will again come back.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So, Maharaj, in the next category, so you talked about karma pravrittaha, then elevating them to karmarpana. So, is that what he is talking about here in the fifth verse when he says, "Ye ye swadharma na duhyanti dhira kamartha hetave nissanganyasta karmanaha prashanta shuddha chetasaha." Those who are intelligent and are of purified consciousness are completely satisfied in Krishna consciousness. Freed from the modes of material nature, they do not act for sense gratification. Rather, since they are situated in their own occupational duties, they act as one is expected to act. And for this, Prabhupada is giving the example of Arjuna. So, is he a karma
Yes.
yogi?
Yes.
Okay.
Karma yogi is of two categories, two levels.
Mhm.
One is one who offers the results of karma, and the other one is one who actually offers his karma itself to the Supreme Lord.
Okay.
So among these two, the second one is superior. Now, Krishna, he talks about karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. And further he says, yat karoshi yajjoshi dashnashi tapasasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. So whatever you do, offer to Krishna. Of course, we discussed this in the Bhagavad Gita. There are two subtle aspects of karma yoga. You offer the results of karma to Krishna. That means you do, results come, you offer to Krishna. Other one is you offer your karma itself to Krishna. It is like somebody working in the somewhere in a bank or in a company. He gets some result, that is money. He offers to Krishna. Other one is running the Govindas in the temple itself because he's expertise in Govindas, running a restaurant. He does it for Krishna. So in this way, one gets purified of the attachment to karma phala and karma. So attachment is there for karma phala, and attachment is there for karma. So when you offer karma phala to Krishna, then you get purified of your attachment. That is why it is described as nissangaha nistakarmanaha. Nissangaha. After offering the karma to Krishna, hetave, karmartha hetave. So this is a subject matter which is spoken in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th chapters of the Bhagavad Gita.
Okay. So a little bit more description of this category of individuals. So by executing one's occupational duties, acting with detachment, without a sense of proprietorship, no false egoism, one is posted in one's constitutional position by dint of complete purification of consciousness, and by thus executing so-called material duties, he can easily enter into the kingdom of God. So now Maharaj, in 7th verse, through the path of illumination, such liberated persons approach the complete personality of Godhead, who is the proprietor of the material and spiritual worlds and is the supreme cause of their manifestation and dissolution. So, even in 8th chapter, I believe, Krishna had talked about two kinds of paths. One is the path of light, another is the path of darkness. So, Krishna talked about the effect of living in Uttarayana time, Dakshinayana time, Shukla Paksha, Krishna Paksha, daytime, nighttime, moon, sun, all that. So, here also it is said, Surya Dwarena, the path of illumination. Is this like other than devotees, these other type of yogis, so they have to really think at what time they leave their body? Like me being in Bangalore with so much heavy traffic, like anywhere we have to go out, we kind of think what time if I leave my house, the traffic will be lighter and I can reach the destination faster. So is this something like that? They have to think about the timing of it, when, how they are going to leave so they can reach their destination smoothly?
Yeah, kind of thing, but that is not applicable for a devotee of Krishna.
Right.
Because these things are for those who are not developed pure devotional service. But for a person who has developed pure devotional service, this doesn't matter. That is what Krishna also says in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, where this particular section comes. He says, Arjuna, you don't have to be worried about these two paths. The Veda talks about these two paths. That is why I have described it. But actually, for you, these they don't matter at all, because you are a devotee, and it is not that you are going to come to me. It is I who am going to come and then take you, because I am the person who is going to come and take you. So I don't have all these rules and regulations. If you have to go from Bangalore, your house to airport, then you have to worry about all these things. If the helicopter comes and picks you up from the airport to the airport, drawing you some rope there, and it comes down, and then so these things don't apply. That is what even Krishna, he talks about in the Bhagavad Gita. And then he says, Naite sthiti partha jnanam yogi muhyanti kaschana tasma sarveshu kaleshu yukto bhavarjuna. Although the devotees, they know these two paths, Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita himself, he says in the 8th chapter, 27th verse, after describing these two paths. So you just, even though the devotees know, but they are not bewildered. Na muhyanti yogi muhyanti kaschana. So Krishna uses these words. Yogi muhyanti kaschana, never is bewildered by these two paths. Na ete, na muhyanti, na ete sti partha jnanam, even though they know, they are not bewildered.
Okay, okay. So Maharaj, in the 8th verse, who is this worshipper of Hiranyagarbha? We've talked about Hiranyagarbha before. Is it same as Virat Rupa or is it somebody different? So who is actually the worshipper of Hiranyagarbha expansion?
Hiranyagarbha is actually Brahma.
Oh.
Brahma is a Gunavatar of Krishna. He is Shakti Avesh avatar of Krishna. So by those who are attained the Brahmaloka and they worship Brahma, that this verse is talking about that. What they do, they stay in Brahmaloka till the time Brahma is surveying. That means for 100 years of Brahma, they stay in Brahmaloka. And then they go back to Godhead along with Brahma, provided that Brahma is a devotee. The present Brahma is a devotee of Krishna. So they'll go back to Godhead along with Brahma to Krishna.
So what are these people called? Like Mayavadi, Brahmavadi, who are they?
No, they are not Mayavadis.
No, like what are they called?
They are following a process of Jnana Mishra Bhakti.
Okay.
And which takes you to the process of Krama Mukti. Krama Mukti means step by step, one by one. You go to this loka, next loka, Brahma loka, and then when Brahma dies, you go to the spiritual world. So in this way, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, or sometimes you can even say Bhakti Mishra Jnana kind of people are there. There is an aspect of element of jnana more than bhakti. So those people, they attain this position.
Interesting. So you said if Brahma is a devotee, this Brahma who is there, he is a devotee, so they go back to Godhead with him. What if he's not a devotee? Where are these worshippers going?
Again, Brahma Bruna Loke Punaravarti Arjuna.
Okay. So Maharaj, in the next a few verses, I'm just going to fast forward a few shlokas because in between Kapila Dev is re-emphasizing to his mother, you please take up devotional service. And next he comes to 16th verse here. Persons who are too addicted to this material world execute their prescribed duties very nicely and with great faith. They daily perform all such prescribed duties with attachment to the fruitive result. And then 17th verse, Rajasa Kuntamanasaha Kamatmano Jitendriyaha Pitranyajantyanudinam Gruheshu Abhiratashayah. Such persons, impelled by the mode of passion, are full of anxieties and always aspire for sense gratification due to uncontrolled senses. They worship the forefathers and are busy day and night improving the economic condition of their family, social, or national life. And such persons are called Trivargika because they are interested in the three elevating processes. They are averse to the Supreme Personality of Godhead who can give relief to the conditioned soul. They are not interested in the Supreme Personality's pastimes, which are worth hearing because of his transcendental prowess. And next verse, such persons are condemned by the supreme order of the Lord because they are averse to the nectar of the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are compared to stool eating hogs. They give up hearing the transcendental activities of the Lord and indulge in hearing of the abominable activities of materialistic persons. And the point I'm trying to get to is in the 20th verse. Such materialistic persons are allowed to go to the planet called Pitraloka by the southern course of the sun, but they again come back to this planet and take birth in their own families, beginning again the same fruitive activities from birth to the end of life. This sounds similar to what he talked about in the beginning, the Grihamedi. So, are these people different from that, and why are they going to Pitraloka, not Soma planet?
So these people, they go to any planet, whether Pitraloka, whether Somaloka, wherever they go, because of their religiosity. They go up and come back down and engage in fruitive activity in mode of passion.
Mm.
See, goodness, you cannot maintain for long.
Mm.
You have to get down into passion.
Mm.
Because a person in goodness, he feels, I have to do so much of hard work to enjoy. I have to follow so much of rules and regulations to enjoy. This person is enjoying without rules and regulations. Why I should do all these things? Well, let us keep this thing aside. Let us see what happens to a well-groomed young boy in a very religious family, born in a very religious, pious family. He pays obeisance to father and mother. He obeys father and mother. He studies very nicely.
Mm.
And he gets up early in the morning, takes bath, does some puja, some kind of puja, goes to temple, and he chants some stotras also. Now he completes his engineering, his 10 plus 2, and now he got admission in an IIT or some prestigious engineering college. Parents are
Mm.
so happy. They take him to the temple. He also prays only because of God. I got this thing. He doesn't know who's God and all, but he just prays.
Mm.
And he joins the hostel. And in the hostel, who are all there, all kinds of crazy people are there and doing all crazy things.
Mm.
People are laughing at him. You are religious. And he's seeing that these people are enjoying without being religious.
Mm.
And I'm the only fool here. See, this person is smoking, so happy, drinking, and so happy.
Mm.
So, what is the use of the religiosity? Because his mother, parents, they send some photos, worship Lord every day, and some religiosity. He just says, get lost, all these things.
Mm.
So now he falls into mode of passion, isn't
Mm.
it?
Yeah.
So it is by default, a religiosity will lead to sensual pleasures and mode of passion. And in passion, when you get frustrated and you go to ignorance. Because Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita also says the same thing. Rajastamaschayavuya sattvam bhavati bharata. Rajasattam tamastata. So he uses these words saying that where there is a constant competition within the modes of nature.
Mm.
So the passion, goodness is pushed by ignorance
Mm.
and take of ignorance. And again, ignorance is pushed by passion. In this way, there is a competition between the modes.
Mm.
So that's what happens to these people.
Mm.
Those who are not attached to Achyuta Kata Sudham and
Mhm.
Hitva, then Shrinvanti Asatkrahaha, Purisham Iva Ivida Bujaha.
Mhm.
He'll become like a pig. Mm. Pig is one of ignorance.
Mm.
So goodness to ignorance, you fall down, it just takes not even a second.
Mm. Mm. Okay. So, Maharaj, before we go to the next, I just want to halt here a little bit. So, for my own understanding and hopefully for the better understanding of our audience also. So, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said this yato mat tatopat is actually denied. It's not like any path will take you to the same destination. Depending on the path you take, depending on who exactly you're worshipping, that is the destination you're going to. It's not like all paths lead to one destination. And that is what here also we are seeing. Depending on who they are worshipping, that is where they are ending up. So just for my understanding, I'll give you different categories of people. You tell me where are they going to end up. So karma kandis, where are they going?
Swarga and back.
Okay, got it. What about these Mayavadis? Where will they end up?
Mayavadis, they end up in the most horrible hell.
Oh, scary. Okay. What about Brahmavadis? Like Brahman is
They attain
everything.
Brahman realization.
So these are the
They may
people.
go to Brahmaloka and then they are entered into Brahma Saujya Mukti they'll get. Brahma Saujya.
Okay. Oh, this is Brahma Sayujya. There is other Sayujya where you become one with Krishna. That is different.
Oh, one with Krishna you can never become. You feel that I am become one with Krishna.
What did Shishupal get?
He got Sharya Saujya for some time. Of course, he was a Nitya Siddha, so he went to become his Parshada, went to For some time, he was there in the Sharira of the Lord and then went back home, back to God, to his constitutional position of serving the Lord as a gatekeeper.
Wow, this is crazy. I mean, my head is reeling with all the details. Okay, so we'll go back to Brahmavadi. So Brahmavadis, they are going to Brahman realization. We'll stick to that. Then what about this Virat Rupa worshippers? Where are they going?
Virat, Avidusham. They have no idea of spirituality, so they will be uh, they will be they will not get liberated, but they will be vimukta maninaha. They think I'm liberated. That is ignorance.
Oh,
They will be in this world only. According to their karma, they'll get their next body. But they
okay.
have a feeling, I'm liberated. I'm liberated. Like, for example, somebody is suffering from a disease and he thinks, I'm not diseased. I'm not sick. I'm okay. I'm okay. Like sometimes some old people,
Yeah,
they are very, you tell them, you are sick. No, I'm not. I'm okay. Manina.
yeah,
Uh,
relatable. Yeah,
it's like that.
okay,
But,
okay.
eh,
So, in the beginning, we saw that this Ashtanga yogis who are in the neophyte stage, Shukadeva Goswami was telling their object of meditation is Virat Rupa, and now you said this is what they are ending up. They think they are liberated, but they are not. But what about the more progressed, advanced Ashtanga yogis who have to meditate on Paramatma, not Virat Rupa? So, where are these people ending up?
So those they go to Siddhaloka, and by
Okay.
association of Siddhas, they become
Mhm.
devotees, and they can go back home, back to Godhead.
Oh, okay, great. Okay. And what about Jnana yogis, the mental speculators?
When you say Jnana Yogis, there are categories of Jnana Yogis. I already discussed. Brahmavadis are also
Mm.
kind of a Jnana Yogis.
Mm.
So if they have association with a pure devotee, like Sukadeva Goswami and the four Kumaras, Sukadeva Goswami had association of the Bhagavatam verses, and four Kumaras had the association of Tulasi, the fragrance of Tulasi, which is coming from the lotus feet of the Lord.
Mm.
They become devotees, pure devotees.
Okay, okay. So now even in Bhakti, Maharaj, there are different permutations, combinations, right? Like Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Bhakti Mishra Jnana, which component is more? Is Bhakti more, Jnana more? Is Karma more? Is Bhakti more? So like there's so many
Yeah.
different combinations. So even devotees, it's not like everybody is going to the same destination. Although they are going to spiritual world, within spiritual world, depending on the percentage of Karma, Jnana, Bhakti, all this, they are also going different destinations, isn't it?
Only one who performs pure devotional service can go to the spiritual world.
Okay.
So, within the material world, when they're practicing devotion, there are
Mhm.
different varieties. And for that, they have to take birth again.
Okay.
Until unless one is completely pure
Mm.
and has developed uh, love for the Lord,
Mhm.
they'll not go back home, back to Godhead.
Mm.
Of course, when they are when they have attained prema
Mhm.
by the practice of Vaidhi sadhana, they go to
Mhm.
Vaikuntha.
Okay.
When they do attain prema by the practice of raganuga, they go to vraja.
Mm.
So there is a subject matter of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But if you, in one sense, until unless you practice pure devotional service, there is no way that you go back home, back to Godhead.
Mm.
In all the Vaishnava Sampradayas, this is the only teaching. If somebody is doing Jnana Mishra Bhakti, where Bhakti component is more, Jnana is component less, then he has to take birth again
Mm.
till he gives up the tendency of Jnana. Karma Mishra Bhakti, same thing.
Mm.
He'll get purified. Definitely
Mhm.
purification happens. But one day or the other, one has to take a pure devotional service, which is a result of purification of the heart.
Mm.
Of course, one can take a pure devotional service at 1 second also,
Mm.
Shuddha Bhakti. But it is not possible for everyone.
Mm.
That is the reason they go through these stages
Okay.
of of Mishra Bhakti, which Krishna also recommends to Arjuna. He spoke about Karam Mishra in the first 6 chapters, Jnana Mishra in the last 6 chapters, and Shuddha Bhakti in the middle 6 chapters. And ultimately recommends that Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. There, Sarvadharman refers to all the other Mishra Bhaktis which is spoken.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is really mind-blowing. Just one more thing on this and we will move forward with our discussion. So when we say back home, back to Godhead, very soon, as soon as we come to ISKCON, very soon, what is the goal of life? We'll say, I want to go back home, back to Godhead. So when we say back home, back to Godhead, we mean like the ultimate spiritual abode, that is Goloka Vrindavana. But however, even in this, if somebody is worshipping Lord Ramachandra, then they end up in Saketa Dham, which is also in the spiritual world. If somebody is worshipping Narayana, like Tirupati, Balaji, Venkateshwara, they may end up in Vaikuntha. So like this, even in the spiritual world, there are unlimited planets, and depending on which form of Krishna they are worshipping, they will accordingly end up there.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Very interesting. So Maharaj, now I'm going to the 23rd verse. वासुदेवे भगवती भक्ति योगः प्रयोजितः जनयत्याशु वैराग्यं ज्ञानं यद्ब्रह्म दर्शनम्. Engagement in Krishna consciousness and application of devotional service unto Krishna make it possible to advance in knowledge and detachment as well as in self-realization. So this is a very similar verse which has come earlier also. So what is the greatness of bhakti? That simply by performing bhakti yoga prayojitaha, as a byproduct, both jnana and vairagya are coming. We don't have to separately endeavor for those two.
Yes. When you perform bhakti, that means you know Krishna. When you know Krishna, you know everything. That is what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. That is, Bhajati mam sarvabhavena bhavata sa sarvavit. Sa sarvavit bhajati mam sarvabhavena. Yo mameva sammudo janati purushottamam sa sarvavid. That person knows everything. One who knows Krishna, he knows everything because everything comes from Krishna. Knowledge is there. And when you are engrossed in Krishna consciousness, the bliss which you experience in that Krishna consciousness is so much that you just neglect all the other things in this world. Vairagya automatically comes. So the Vairagya, because of engrossing our mind in Krishna consciousness, that is a sthayi Vairagya, that is permanent Vairagya. The jnana which you attain by Krishna consciousness, that jnana is a perfect jnana. Others, those who are in pursuit of artificial Vairagya, those who are in pursuit of artificial jnana, they have Vairagya, they have jnana, but it is temporary. It is full of klesha. There is a lot of klesha for them. And Vairagya is full of miseries. But this is blissful Vairagya. That is miserable Vairagya. And Jnana is the miserable knowledge of eternity. But here it is blissful knowledge of eternity. That is the thing.
Beautiful. So towards the end of this particular chapter, Kapila Dev is telling his mother the qualification and disqualification. He's telling, don't give this knowledge to certain people, and who can you give this knowledge to? So in the 39th verse, he's saying, Lord Kapila continued, this instruction is not meant for the envious, for the agnostics, or for persons who are unclean in their behavior, nor is it for hypocrites or for persons who are proud of material possessions. It is not to be instructed to persons who are too greedy and too attached to family life, nor to persons who are non-devotees and who are envious of the devotees and of the personality of Godhead. And then he says, who can it be given to? Instruction should be given to the faithful devotee who is respectful to the spiritual master, non-envious, friendly to all kinds of living entities, and eager to render service with faith and sincerity. This instruction should be imparted by the spiritual master to persons who have taken the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be more dear than anything, who are not envious of anyone, who are perfectly cleansed, and who have developed detachment for that which is outside the purview of Krishna consciousness. So Krishna himself said, Samoham sarva bhuteshu, I am equal to everybody, my mercy is there for everyone. then why he is distinguishing, give to these people, don't give to these people? Similarly, in Bhagavad Gita end also he said, don't tell this to envious people who don't have faith.
Because if you tell to those people who don't have faith, they'll create offenses.
Okay.
And that is very detrimental for them for future to get this knowledge. Detrimental for them, even in future also, they would not get this knowledge. That is the reason Krishna is refraining. It is not that they should not be given. They should be given, but in a different way. If you just ask them to come and sit, I'll teach, it doesn't work like that. So that is the reason you have to engage everybody in Krishna service by use of intelligence. But knowledge should be given those who have developed faith. Like for example, if somebody is a very rich man and you go and have humility, like them, you're building a temple, you do some contribution. Give some contribution, it will be beneficial for you. Then he says, okay, let me see. And then again you go. Because of your devotion, you melt his heart, which is like a hard rock. So, and he says, he's come so many times now. Chalo, let me give one check. Take go, 500 kilo. Something like that. So he has done some seva, got connected to Krishna, so that there will be some purification in the heart. So gradually, by doing some seva, in some or other, one day something will happen to him. Maybe wife runs away or son dies or something.
Oh no.
He says, kuch karo. Then there you are already giving a class and you say, wait for some time, sit in the class, then he hears. So then he hears, then he understands, yeah, something is there, wonderful, let me go and hear. So then we explained. That is what happens. First you go to him, engage him, and then he comes. That is called Shraddha. But initially you have to go. That's called preaching. Preaching means engaging people who are full of so-called opulence and they are puffed up. You beg them, fall at their feet, somehow use your intelligence and all your purity to bring them to Krishna consciousness or get them connected to Krishna. So then they'll develop Shraddha. That is what Prabhupada did.
So transitioning into the next chapter, Maharaj, the last chapter, that is chapter number 33 of Canto 3. So in the very first section, we see Mother Devahuti's heartfelt prayers unto her son, Kapiladev. So what we see here is no doubt she is glorifying Kapiladev like anything. And here in the fourth verse, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you have taken birth from my abdomen. O my Lord, how is that possible for the Supreme One who has in his belly all the cosmic manifestation? The answer is that it is possible, for at the end of the millennium, you lie down on a leaf of a banyan tree, and just like a small baby, you lick the toe of your lotus foot. So, Maharaj, if you can say something about humility of Mother Devahuti, she is no ordinary woman. She is glorified in her own right. And no doubt that Supreme Lord himself chose her to become his mother. And she is so humble, takes such a humble position, and she prays that even Brahma comes from your navel, even he is meditating on you. And how astonishing is that you have become my son, you have come from my womb. So this is a repeated pattern we see. These devotees are so humble. So it's so wonderful to see this quality. If you can say something about this.
Every devotee says the same thing, but has some flavor in it. So when Devahuti is saying that, she says, I am not astonished. Because you are astonishment itself. You are unlimited power. Still, you are taken birth from my womb. Who am I? I'm just some third-class human being, that's all, just a human. So, even Brahma could not understand you, isn't it? He could not see you. But still, you gave darshan to him. In this way, it is not because of my endeavors that I can have darshan of yours. It is because of your mercy we can do that. Mhm. So it is because of guna pravaha, because of your affection for the devotees, you are able to show yourself to me and other devotees too. And also, you are the cause of creation, maintenance, and destruction. When you hear about Krishna's glory, which is manifest in his interaction with this world by doing creation, maintenance, and destruction, we develop humility. And the heart which is full of humility is the only heart which can hold Krishna Prema Rasa.
Okay. So she nicely glorifies, and then Kapila Dev reciprocates. So in the 10th verse, he speaks to his mother. Kapila uvacha margenanena mataste susevyenuditena me asthitena param kashtham achirad avarotshyasi. The personality of Godhead said, My dear mother, the path of self-realization which I have already instructed to you is very easy. You can execute this system without difficulty, and by following it, you shall very soon be liberated, even within your present body. And this exact thing happens. Later verses in this chapter, we see Devahuti does practice devotional service with such detachment and sincerity, and she attains liberation within the same body. So, Maharaj, is this applicable for us also? So, we also, when we perform devotional service, what does it mean to get liberated in the same body? Because usually the notion is liberation means after death we are going to attain liberation, but within the present body, and that too very soon.
There are two kinds of opinions about liberation. One is by death you will become liberated, number one.
Okay.
So for me to get liberated, I have to die, so I'll commit suicide. It's tamasic. Other thing is, no, you have to die, then only you'll become liberated. No, you can be liberated even though you are alive in this body. Nikhilasu pyavastasu jivan muktasya uchyate. Even though you are living in this body, you can be still liberated. Yahasya Haredasya karmana manasagira nikhilas vyavastasu jivan muktasya uchyate. Even though you are living nikhilas vyavastasu, if you are dedicated your life to Krishna by karmana manasa vacha, that is liberation. If you are serving Krishna 24 hours a day, you are liberated. That is called Jivan Mukta Avastha. Yeah.
Okay. So we saw in this episode, you wanted to say something, Maharaj?
No.
Yeah. So in this whole episode, we saw Kardama Muni left home to find God realization. And then now Kapila is also going to leave. But however, Devahuti does stay back in this most amazing palace, magnificent palace built by her husband Kardama. And I was really pleasantly surprised as I was going through this section. Why suddenly in this chapter such vivid description is given of all the different things in this palace where Devahuti is staying? So I'll just read quickly this section and ask my question. The home and household paraphernalia of Kardama, who was one of the Prajapatis, was developed in such a way by dint of his mystic powers of austerity and yoga that his opulence was sometimes envied by those who travel in outer space in airplanes. Then the 16th verse, the opulence of the household of Kardama Muni is described herein. The bed sheets and mattresses were all as white as the foam of milk. The chairs and benches were made of ivory and were covered by cloths of lace with golden filigree, and the couches were made of gold and had very soft pillows. The walls of the house were made of first class marble decorated with valuable jewels. There was no need of light, for the household was illuminated by the rays of these jewels. The female members of the household were all amply decorated with jewelry. The compound of the main household was surrounded by beautiful gardens with sweet, fragrant flowers and many trees which produced fresh fruit and were tall and beautiful. The attraction of such gardens was that singing birds would sit on the trees, and their chanting voices, as well as the humming sound of the bees, made the whole atmosphere as pleasing as possible. When Devahuti would enter that lovely garden to take her bath in the pond filled with lotus flowers, The associates of the denizens of heaven, the Gandharvas, would sing about Kardama's glorious household life. Her great husband Kardama gave her all protection at all times. Although her position was unique from all points of view, saintly Devahuti, in spite of all her possessions, which were envied even by the ladies of the heavenly planets, gave up all such comforts. She was only sorry that her great son was separated from her. So I was just wondering the reason for which such detailed description is given is that to finally highlight that in the midst of all such comforts, but she is completely detached from all those comforts. The only thing she is yearning is that she is feeling intense separation from her son who left home. Is this why, Maharaj?
Yes, that is answer.
Okay.
In the 22nd verse, the answer is given.
Mm-hmm.
That is, Tameva dhyayati devam apatyam kapilam harim babhuva charito vatsa nisprihaha tadrishe griha.
Mm-hmm.
When you experience separation from Krishna, then nothing in this world will actually attract you,
Mm-hmm.
becomes insignificant. Like even in this world also, when somebody loses his near and dear one,
Mm-hmm.
my mother lost a kid who was just 5 year old, and then mother is crying, crying, constantly crying, crying, crying. At that time, you go and say, "No, why don't you eat some rasgullas?"
Mm-hmm.
What will she say? Get lost. And what
Mm-hmm.
is this now? Though she might like it the most, but still, it's not going to help.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
So, how is her separation? Like here in the 21st, you just quoted 22nd, just the previous verse. Devahuti's husband had already left home and accepted the renounced order of life. And then her only son Kapila left home. Although she knew all the truths of life and death, and although her heart was cleansed of all dirt, she was very aggrieved at the loss of her son, just as a cow is affected when her calf dies. How is the separation that Mother Devahuti is feeling towards her son different from the other separation like even regular mother may feel from her child?
Yeah, regular son is different, and he doesn't teach his mother, isn't it?
Yes.
Not the same. He is not God.
Mm,
So the separation what we experience from people in this world, that is material,
mm,
and the separation is spiritual.
mm,
But example is given, material example is given, like the cow.
mm,
Uh, uh, like the cow.
mhm,
That's the now like a cow. Other meaning is she forgot all the knowledge which was given by her son.
mm,
This
mm,
world is temporary and all these things.
mhm,
But her separation is actually spiritual because she's experienced separation from her son, who is God Himself.
mm. Yes. So, what a glorious thing. Mother Devahuti has achieved her perfection. So, I'm jumping to the 31st verse here. The palace where Devahuti achieved her perfection, my dear Vidura, is understood to be a most sacred spot. It is known all over the three worlds as Siddhapada. So, you're very expert in spiritual geography. So, where is this place, Maharaj? Siddhapada?
He is still known as Siddhapur in
Oh,
Gujarat. 2 hours north of Ahmedabad, you just type in Google, you'll get this word called
wow.
Siddhapur. That's called, that is a place where this conversation happened. There's still that Bindu Sarovar that is there.
Hmm. Okay, okay. So it is said her body has melted into water and is now flowing as a river. So which river is this?
Yeah, that is Saraswati River.
Oh.
There is Saraswati River. There is a Bindu Sarovar there.
Mm-hmm.
So her body melted, became a river. She is there in that right place.
Wow. Okay.
Saraswati River flows there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And in the very end, what happened to Kapila Dev, that is also described. My dear Vidura, the great sage Kapila, the personality of Godhead, left his father's hermitage with the permission of his mother and went towards the northeast. While he was passing in the northern direction, all the celestial denizens known as Charanas and Gandharvas as well as the Munis and the damsels of the heavenly planets prayed and offered him all respects. The ocean offered him oblations and a place of residence. So in the purport, Prabhupada is writing Ganga Sagar. So that Kapila Dev is still there in Ganga Sagar. So where is this Maharaj, Ganga Sagar?
This is in Sundarban. This is in Calcutta. You go to Calcutta, from there you go towards the ocean, then you will find Ganga Sagar there. Where Ganga meets the ocean, it's called Ganga Sagar.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in Bengal. And it's on the, from Howrah, you have to go further towards the ocean, then you will find Ganga Sagar.
Beautiful. So Maharaj, earlier I had asked you, when Kardama Muni left home, I had asked, Lord himself has come as the son, why is he leaving the home to find God? And you gave a fantastic answer to that. And now the Lord himself is leaving home. So he is the Supreme Lord. He gave the instructions to his mother through which he attained perfection. His mother wanted Abhaya, so he gave Abhaya. But he himself is leaving home. So why is he leaving home? What is the necessity?
The whole world is his home only. The whole
Mind.
purpose is to preach Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas.
Yeah.
What can he leave? Everything belongs to him only. So, for the purpose of teaching Krishna consciousness, this is done.
Okay. So finally, the Falashruti. So I'll just read here 36th and 37th verse. एतन्निगतितं ताता यत्पृष्टोऽहं तवानघा कपिलस्य च संवादो देवहूत्याश्च पावनः. My dear son, since you have inquired from me, I have answered. O sinless one, the descriptions of Kapila Dev and his mother and their activities are the purest of all pure discourses. And finally, the 37th verse translation. The description of the dealings of Kapila Dev and his mother is very confidential, and anyone who hears or reads this narration becomes a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is carried by Garuda, and he thereafter enters into the abode of the Supreme Lord to engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So, how nice, very nice. So, what are your parting words, Maharaj, as we wrap up Canto 3 and also this section of Devahuti Kapila Samvada?
So, the wrapping up words are the prayers of Devayuti. Two verses were missed by you, maybe intentionally, so that I can speak about these two important verses which she chanted in her in her prayers. These two verses, which glorify devotion, especially it glorifies bhakti, especially it glorifies Nam Sankirtanam. These two are the essence of the entire canto of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Oh.
If somebody is able to remember these two verses, then their life is successful. And if somebody is able to relish these verses and apply these verses, their life will be successful. Let us see what are these two verses. I think these two verses should be the essence of the third canto of Bhagavatam.
Okay.
The last word in the entire scriptures are these two verses spoken by Devi to Kapila. Yannamadeya Shravananukirtanat Yat Pravarnat Yat Smaranadapi Kvachet Swadopi Sadya Savanaya Kalpate Kuta Punaste Bhagavannu Darshanat Abhovatas Pachoto Gariyan Yajjuhagre Vartate Namatubhyam Te Pustapasте Juhusvasnurarya Brahmanuchurnama Grinanti Ete. Our acharyas have used these two verses to establish the Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta, especially the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
Oh.
They have been extensively used by our acharyas, even by Srila Prabhupada. Yennamadheya Shravananu Kirtana. By seeing you, everybody becomes fortunate. What to speak of that? Just by smaranat, just by even remembrance, occasional remembrance, just by a kirtana, yet pravarana, by obeisance to you, api kvachit. Kvachit means not every day, sometimes. Swadopi Satya, immediately. Swada means one who is a dog eater. One who is born in a dog eater family also becomes qualified to perform Vedic yajnas.
Mm.
Then what to speak of those people who are having darshan of yours? Uh, and then, ato aho bata sapachato gariyan. It is so astonishing, aho, even an outcast person, if he is chanting the names of the Lord, he becomes the guru of the entire world. All those who chant your names, te pustapaste juhu sushnurarya, they have completed all the ritualistic activities like tapaha, austerities, juhu, that is sacrifices, and snur means by taking bath, and all the Vedic study they have done. So in this way, the glory of the holy names of Krishna, they are described by her in these two important verses.
Jai. Glorious indeed, Maharaj. Sorry, that was actually not intentional. It it was a lapse on my part. I was just keeping the time on the clock and I skipped it. So my apologies for that. But I'm very grateful that you really brought us back to this and explained. Thank you, Maharaj. Wonderful, Maharaj. We'll quickly move on to the Brahmastra section before we close. So, Maharaj, because we are wrapping up Canto 3, I'm just going to ask some random light questions based on Canto 3. So, if Mother Devahuti could give one piece of advice to modern mothers, what do you think she would say?
So first become a good wife and you will become a good mother.
Okay.
Because Mother Devi first she became a very good wife.
Yes.
Being pleased, Kardama gave a good son.
Jai. What a very, very nice answer. Yeah. So in Canto 3, we saw the Lord in many different forms. He came as the two different Varahas, the Shweta Varaha, Rakta Varaha. Now he came as Kapila Dev and Virat Rupa, although it is a material form, still that is also a form of the Lord. And all the three Purushavataras, oh my God, it was so extensive in this whole canto. Repeatedly, they kept coming to describe the creation part of it. And then we saw during the Jaya Vijaya episode, Narayana himself, he came running. So, with all these different forms of the Lord, if you could choose one of them to have lunch with, who would you choose?
Definitely Kapila.
Kapila,
He'll
okay.
speak some jnana. Some jnana to me. Give some knowledge to me.
Interesting, okay. So, since you chose Kapila, let's say you're sitting down and sharing lunch with him, and Devahuti mother has already asked so many questions, and now you said he will give jnana to you. Of course, he's not going to give it just like that. You have to ask him. So, what will you ask him?
I'll ask him that this complicated science of Sankhya, which you have spoken in the 26th chapter and 25th chapter, 25 and 26th chapter, especially 26th chapter, you give me the intelligence so that I can explain it in a very simple way.
Oh, how nice.
I'll do by serving him, not by eating along with him.
Oh. Beautiful, beautiful. Good. So he will give you the intelligence to explain in a simple way so that all of
Yeah,
us can benefit through that.
yes.
Wonderful. So, Maharaj, as we can see, this whole Bhagavatam is a meta conversation. There are so many conversations. It's like a nested if loop that they've taught us in computer programming. So there is the outside Sutta Goswami, Shaunakadi Rishis, then there is Shukadeva Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj. And in this third canto, specifically, we saw Vidura Uddhava Samvada, then came Vidura Maitreya Samvada. Within this Vidura Maitreya Samvada, so many other Samvadas are also coming. So, which, of course, the mood is slightly different, all these different Samvadas. So, which one is more closer to you? Which Samvada?
More than being close, the scriptures, the acharyas, they say the Bhagavatam reaches its highest potential when the samvada is between Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj.
Okay.
Yeah. But within that, if you give me a choice, within those samvadas, I like this Kapila Devati samvada a lot.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So, which part in this whole Canto 3 is your favorite?
Definitely this section.
Other than this, you already mentioned this. Other than this, next closest.
Other than this, that particular section where Uddhava is experiencing separation and then speaking pastimes of Krishna, both Vrindavan pastimes and then Dwaraka pastimes.
Okay. So if anybody is thinking just before starting this whole, because it's 33 chapters, it's actually in 2 volumes, and it is not like an easy read. It is quote unquote technical. So if somebody is feeling too intimidated, oh my God, how am I going to read through this? Any hint or tip you want to give to encourage them to read?
Read whatever you like, you read whatever time you have, you just read it. That is more important.
Okay. So what is the essence of this canto, Maharaj? Of course, you quoted the 2 shlokas of Mother Devahuti's prayers. What is the key takeaway from this whole canto?
The key takeaway from this canto is sit and study Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the key takeaway. There can be no better takeaway than and also chant the prayers, the beautiful prayers in third canto of Bhagavatam, especially prayers by Brahma. That those prayers are actually very important prayers, which are found in the 9th chapter, I suppose, where you have prayers by Brahma, where for creation he expresses how humble he is in spite of doing a big job of creation. I had given lectures on this chapter, prayers of Brahma in Pushkar.
Oh, yeah.
This year when we went to Pushkar.
Yes.
That should be chanted by every devotee so that he doesn't have any hankara in spite of all these achievements a person can do in his life.
Yeah, those are some amazing 2 lectures you gave, especially the one you're talking about. I'll share the link in the description so our audience can also catch up with that. So Maharaj, in your prayers that you chant, so Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. So the 3rd and 4th canto is referring to the thighs of the Lord, isn't it?
Yes,
So
thighs
if you
of the
can
Lord.
say something about that.
Yeah, how they are the thighs of the Lord. Actually, the subject matters of Bhagavatam, the 10 subject matters of Bhagavatam start from 3rd canto.
Okay.
So the 3rd and the 4th canto talk about Sarga and Visarga, that is creation and subcreation. These are the 2 subject matters. And if you see the form of the Lord when somebody is sitting, then the whole body is actually based on the thighs, the thighs of Krishna. So that is how the first 2, Sarga, Visarga, they are actually creation, which holds entire thing. Everything is held within the creation. So when the Lord is sitting, the entire body, everything is based on his thighs, resting on the thighs. The whole world, when a baby is there resting on the thighs of the mother, the lap of the mother. So in this way, these 2 cantos becomes the basis of the entire other cantos. Because 3rd canto and 4th canto, they are very unique in the sense it is Vidura Maitreya Samvada. And within that, the Kapila Devati Samvada is there. So what all knowable things are there, everything is there in this. Very analytically and very descriptively, in both ways. The 2nd canto, it is not very descriptive and very analytical about creation. But here you get in a very perfect way.
Sure. Last question, Maharaj. So now that we are quote unquote wrapping up Canto 3, what can we look forward to in Canto 4?
In Cantos 4, you will have only 4 pastimes.
Okay.
Daksha, Dhruva, Pritu,
Mm.
and Prachetas.
Okay.
And within that Canto 4, there are so many wonderful prayers.
Mhm.
And the topmost of all the prayers which I rate is the prayers of Lord Shiva.
Oh.
Rudra Gita comes there.
Mm.
It starts with Lord Shiva,
Mhm.
glories of Lord Shiva, and ends with Lord Shiva.
Jai.
So if
Amazing.
at all you want to know Lord Shiva's glories, read the 4th Canto of Bhagavatam.
Jai.
Very interesting.
Wow. Very much looking forward to it, Maharaj. Thank you so much. So yesterday you started your brand new Bhagavata Saptaha in ISKCON Lucknow. Although I've not watched the whole thing, right in the beginning I just caught a glimpse of a little bit. I was struck by the sentence that you said. So you were just laying out the overview of what you're going to cover in the Saptaha. In that context, you said you are going to touch a little bit on the first canto, and then given that it is Kartik, you said we will also go to the 10th canto a little bit and discuss the pastime. So there you said, in the first canto, we will understand, we will get a glimpse into the rasa in tattva, and in the 10th canto, the tattva in the rasa. So I thought very nicely you put it. I'm going to make that a quotable quote and put it in our WhatsApp community as well. So this third canto for me, given my ignorance and contaminated consciousness, it was so much like tattva, tattva, tattva. But sitting down and just hearing from you, you are helping us find the rasa in tattva, even within creation and so many other so-called technical aspects also. So I'm thankful for that. And also you had mentioned somewhere that only in the light of Chaitanya Charitamrita can we really see Bhagavatam illuminated and we can relish. For me, I'm not at that level, but for me, the words that are emanating from your mouth, so that is acting like a torchlight through which we are able to relish the pastimes and philosophy in Bhagavatam. So for that also, I'm extremely grateful, Maharaj, because of your blessings and guidance. We are moving from milestone to milestone. So this is yet another significant milestone by the blessings of Krishna and Prabhupada that we can never ever complete Bhagavatam, but quote unquote wrap up Canto 3. And I'm really looking forward to starting the next canto in the next episode. So thank you, Maharaj. Eternally grateful. So Hare Krishna, everyone. There we go. So this is how we have so-called completed our discussion on Canto 3. So please go through, just like Maharaj was telling, just sit down and read. What can be a better engagement for us? This is the most practical thing. So 33 nectarian chapters. So please go through Bhagavatam at your leisure. And also these episodes, they're all available on Aradhana online through the entire playlist, the Pariprashna playlist. So you can go back and watch these episodes as many times as you want. You can take good notes and really get your consciousness absorbed in this. So thank you very much for being part of this Pariprashna journey. We will see you very soon in the next episode, a brand new canto, that is Canto 4, like Maharaj was explaining, 4 wonderful pastimes, starting with the glories of Shiva and ending with the glories of Shiva. So I am super excited. I'm sure that you are super excited as well. So we will catch you in the next episode. Until then, as always, stay inquisitive and stay Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.